Carlos Sainz was certainly the man on the mission in yesterday's stage. What about today? For some reason it was very humid overnight, and drivers and teams woke up to a very, very hot morning. Nasser Al-Attiyah, of course, used to this heat. It's not too much of a problem for him.
Je regarde un peu la texture du sol parce que sur certaines pistes.
Peter Hansel says, I'm just looking at the texture of the ground because in some areas the gravel is a bit like, it's like ball bearings and it has no grip at all. Even when it's dry it can be more slippery than if it's wet. You have to learn the grip each time and the colour of the ground changes when the texture changes, so not to be caught out in the braking, and that can be a problem. Carlos Sainz, first man on the stage, first man over at the end of the stage, and first on the leaderboard. Yet again, El Matador absolutely flying.
Curva hacia la derecha, 90 grados, 100 metros, curva hacia la derecha, 90 grados, 200.
He built a gap of 1 minute at the start of the stage up to CP1, and then he maintained it, pacing himself the rest of the 300 kilometres and coming out with a gap of just a minute by the end. Despite his pace yesterday, he said his wipers had failed, and therefore it was an even more impressive result. Second was another Volkswagen, Nasser Al-Attiyah. Having been rather too careful in the slippery conditions yesterday, again he lost time in the rain. At one point he was 2 minutes down to Sainz, but the final part of the stage he really pushed and made it all back. Second, 1 minute behind Sainz. Third position, Stefan Pederhansel. Yet again, a slight victim to Sainz's early pace. WRC type stages not suiting the Dakar rally winner. And when Al-Attiyah lost out on the slippery stuff, Pederhansel gained. He was up to second, but then dropped back down to third. Fourth was Ginier de Villiers, taking it easy, as he normally does at the start of rallies. It's just enough to finish ahead of the rest of the field. Rest of the rest, Orlando Terranova this time, the Argentinian fan favourite. 7th on the opening day, but 5th today. And a great battle with this man, Christoph Polowitz. Just 2 minutes separate them in the overall standings. And the Mini, such a busy day on stage one. Shishri hoped for a quieter day today, and I think he got one in terms of mechanical problems, although starting 21st he had to pass many cars. Nowitzki was 10th yesterday and 8th today, the FIA Cross Country Cup champion, starting to get to grips with these Argentinian stages. And first of the Mitsubishis once more was Spinelli, the Brazilian driver, 10th, 17.5 minutes down, 9th overall. What about Nani Roma? Visibility problems when the car fogged up yesterday, and not much better in terms of speed today. And how about this? That is Mark Miller, the fourth of the Volkswagens, having a big accident early on in the stage. He tried to nurse the car through the stage, but damage had meant that he had to stop various occasions to do running repairs. The windscreen was out, the door wouldn't shut, and no bonnet, but expect to see that car again soon. And what about Robbie Gordon? Mechanical problems were reported, but he got stuck on a rock, having understeered to the side of the rally. Also problems there for Van Loon, but look what they decided to try and tow the big Hummer off the rock with. A little Fiat 500. Robbie Gordon trying to find some gears in the 500, and as locals pushed the car, Gordon found reverse and finally tried to tow it out. Not to much avail. The Hummer, a huge beast in comparison to this little car. He had been doing relatively well in the top 5 throughout the stage.
Just it wasn't marked on the road book. Sharp corner, got sideways, straightened it out, hit this big rock here. Didn't hurt anything in the front, but I got some oil leaking, so I don't know what that is. But also broke the transmission. Tried to back up.
So a lot of work to be done when the Hummer does eventually arrive back to Parc Ferme, but I'm afraid it looks like game over in terms of rally win. Stage 2 results, the top 5, Sainz, Alatia, Petter Hansel, De Villiers and best the rest. Argentinian Terranova putting a smile on the fans' faces. Overall, Sainz leads by 3 minutes from Petter Hansel. Alatia is snapping at their heels. There's 10 minutes to De Villiers and Hollich in 5th. With a bit more visibility, how did Sainz get on today on stage 2?
Una etapa otra vez complicada porque
once again the stage was very complicated and yet again it rained. My wipers broke again, so I couldn't see anything. It's important to stay ahead to make time, but moreover to finish the stage without any problems.
It was really not easy to stage yesterday and today, but okay. Yesterday we have a small problem, and we have also today exactly same the problem. We lose a lot of power last 100 kilometer. I don't know what's wrong, you know, because when we touch the water, something wrong, and we try fix this problem, you know, because I am disappointed. Last 100k we lose a lot of times.
On a eu de tout, c'est vrai que
we had everything. It was very technical and fun to drive, and whilst trying to find the rhythm of the car and Carlos, we were surprised by the many tightening corners. It was really wonderful, a big pleasure. Rain, thunderstorms, we managed the rain, but the hardest at the end when we caught the motorbike tracks was the dust. It was narrow under these, under forests with dust, it was tiresome, but at the end it was a very nice stage. The trucks also took to San Miguel, and yet again Vladimir Chagin, now slightly unchallenged in the truck category, took the fastest time. Such was the speed of the Kamaz that they started to find some of the slower cars en route. The single track lanes did not lend themselves to overtaking. Therefore, Chagin found himself slightly slowed up by the end of the stage. Interestingly, it should have been Nikolaev who was second, and through the harder stage he was doing particularly well, but as the stage drew to a close, disappeared off the timesheets. That gave way to Fyodor Kabarov, who had already lost a good chunk of time on day 1, yet again lost more on day 2. Kabarov is now 11 minutes behind his nearest rival. So with the demise of Nikolaev, who at this point in the stage was moving, it left the way for Alex Lopez to get 3rd overall. 7 minutes down, the pace not quite there, but has also been passed by Kabarov of the overall standings. He's going to have quite a fight if he wants to take it to Vladimir and Firdis. tomorrow's 500-kilometre special will be split into two parts, a little break in the middle. Again, the bikes and cars will split, the trucks only taking part in the first bit. Canyons and trees and plenty of beautiful scenery expected. So we'll see you tomorrow for stage 3 of the 2011 Dakar 2000.